the day.
Yeah, yeah. Today also we are having the examinations for the third year and final students.
Excellent, excellent. Good.
Through online only.
Okay, okay.
Okay.
And you are autonomous now, right? So
Yeah,
you have scheduled your own exams.
You
Yes.
also autonomous.
That's right.
That's fine. What about your end, sir?
Yeah, we have also scheduled. Actually, it is exam time now, but regular exam starts from 24th.
Oh, 24th only are scheduled, sir.
Yeah. Because see, we want to reopen only after Pongal.
After Pongal, okay.
Basically, we in fact did not open on 7th.
Oh, okay.
We were about to reopen. Meanwhile, we received that circular, right? They said, the hostel students have to be quarantined for 15 days and all. You received that circular? Tamil Nadu government issued another notification saying that whoever comes from outstation. Am I audible, Sandil?
Yeah. You are now audible, sir.
See, we received one notification that the students from outstation, they had to be quarantined for 15 days. So that clashed with our proposed academic schedule. Like we plan to complete the laboratory work for 7th semester. As soon as they come, we thought of using the 2 weeks for finishing the lab so that the 8th semester they will be free.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
But parents were not willing. Strictly speaking, parents were very much about. They were creating a lot of issues also.
Yeah.
But many of them wanted us to give a guarantee that will the management take the responsibility if something happens to my ward? And I said, yeah, then you have to ask Xingping. That is a kind of, people still have that fear and, they are reluctant to send their children to the campus. So we also thought, okay, because if we quarantine them for 15 days, then it clashes with our academic schedule. So we cancelled the plan. And we have moved now all the laboratory classes to the summer. Hopefully by that time we should be in a position to call it. But at least now I think government has allowed final years to be called, right? That is still so, but we have not called them to the campus yet.
Okay. So what about the hostel, sir?
We didn't open it. That's a problem. See, hostel, they said no. I don't know what kind of procedure you're following. We follow all the norms very strictly.
We too, sir.
Because see, we have just near us our Sri Peramadur, the Panchayat or whatever you call it. We are the first. Secondly, we want to honor all the safety aspects, and we want to abide by the guidelines. Not only for them. So we don't want to get any problem by flouting the rules or something like that. So our exams are scheduled now. It will be over probably by Pongal. Right? Before Pongal, it will be over. So they can enjoy Pongal holidays and then
they can turn back. Okay.
So yeah, that's a plan for now. You have to wait and watch.
Dr. Ganesh Vaidyanathan and Dr. Senthil, I'll just take a minute to welcome Ms. Kamna from Mercer, and also good morning, Dr. Shalini from Tyagaraja College of Engineering.
Good morning, one and all.
Good morning.
Very good morning.
Good morning,
Good morning, everyone. This is Kamna from Mercer Metal.
Yeah.
Ma'am, Mercy ma'am, good morning.
Good morning, ma'am. Good morning.
This is Akila.
Now, I just raised an chat message requesting to unmute, give permission to unmute my mic. And I just called to Barnidharan also, and he said someone will convert me as a host to unmute my mic. Thanks for doing that.
Yeah, so we are good now with all the panel members being here and also the PALS members here. PBM and Bharani, I hope we can get started because we are almost at 10:30 now. Is that fine? PBM, Bharani, Mohan?
Yeah, I am good.
Yeah, I think it's good. I see there are more than 60 audience members who I've seen in the list of participants. So I think it's a good time to start.
Yeah, Dr. Akila, are you good to start?
Yes, ma'am. I am very much.
Okay, so thank you all. Good morning all once again. And I'm Sujata, for those of you who do not know me, from the PALS Program Management Office. I welcome all of you to the 8th series of the PALS Cares and Shares session. And today's topic is on the online proctoring, which is a must-to-know topic with the current pandemic conditions still looming over us. And to handle the session from the academic side, we have the various principals and top management persons from select few academic institutions. And to give a subject matter overview, we have speakers lined up from the industry side. Warm welcome to the panel members, the management representatives, EC members, and faculty of PALS Partner Institutes. And warm welcome to my PALS team as well. Just a few quick rules. As participants who are viewing this session, you will not be able to unmute yourself. But during the Q&A segment, you may raise your hand and request to be unmuted or post your question in the chat box. I'll moderate it for you and I'll get your questions answered. I would highly recommend all of you to raise your hand and interact with the panel directly. And for our records, we request you to post your attendance. I have already mentioned the format in the chat box. Kindly use that. And at the end of the program, we will post a feedback link. So please stay back to give your feedback. And with all this, I hand it over to the PALS chairman, Mr. P.V. Mohan, to do the welcome address and formally introduce the panel to all of you. Over to you, PVM. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sujata, for the brief introduction. Respected management and faculty from PALS partner colleges, Mercer Metal team, alumni and PALS teams, as well as the panel of principals who will be participating in this program. It gives me great pleasure to invite all of you to this PALS Cares and Shares session on proctoring solutions. PALS is your education partner, and we are always looking for opportunities to address your problems related to delivering education in terms of content as well as process. PALS Cares and Shares series has been conceptualized to achieve this very end. We did have a session on online assessments and proctoring some months ago. We then received feedback from faculty requesting us to arrange another session which could have a demonstration of how online proctoring could be carried out. What better way to achieve this than to get industry specialists to talk to us about the latest practices and demonstrate the practice so that faculty members can get ideas on how to implement. We are therefore privileged that Mercer Metal, one of the leading organizations in the field of proctoring, have kindly accepted our invitation to deliver a demonstration today. We also have a panel of principals from our partner colleges who will engage with us in a group discussion, highlighting the challenges of online teaching and assessments. I would like to briefly introduce our participants now. Mercer Metal are represented by their regional business head, education, Mr. Samarth Mathur. He has been working with Metal for the last 2 years. We are also privileged to have Madam Kamna Gupta, who is the National Business Head Education and has been with Metal for the last 4 years. Both of them bring a wealth of experience in the field of proctored assessments. Dr. Anthony Michael Raj is a professor of mechanical engineering with 14 years experience in academic administration and is currently the principal of Loyola Ecam College of Engineering and Technology, Chennai. He is the winner of Best Academic Administrator Award in 2015. We also have Dr. R. Sendil Kumar. He is currently professor in Department of Electrical and Electronics and vice principal of Savita Engineering College. In 2014, he got a Best Teacher Award for Engineering by Stafford University in UK. We have Dr. S. Ganesh Vaidyanathan, who is the principal of Sri Venkateshwara College of Engineering with over 29 years of academic experience. His specialization is in electronics and communication with a doctorate in image processing and pattern recognition. He is the winner of Best Faculty Award and has guided many projects which have gone on to win Best Project Awards. Dr. Mercy Shalini is Professor of Computer Science and Engineering and Principal in Charge at Tyagaraja College of Engineering, Madurai. Her expertise is in machine learning and information security. She is the winner of many faculty awards. Finally, we have Dr. Akila, who is the principal of KPR IIT, and she will be the moderator for the panel discussion today. She launched her career as a professor in computer science with interest in machine learning and data sciences. She is a recipient of Kalam Vision 2020 Award in recognition for her service to green technology. We now eagerly look forward to what we expect to be a very stimulating session and invite our esteemed audience to enjoy the event and take back learnings for implementation in your colleges. Thank you very much. Sujata, you can take over, please.
Yeah, thank you, PVM. With this, I would request Dr. Akila to proceed with the session.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Good morning to all present here. And we have here the expert panel, Dr. Anthony, Dr. Ganesh, Dr. Mercy, Dr. Senthil Kumar, and Dr. Samarth from Mercer Metal. Welcome to the future, not 2021, as you might have been expecting, but 2025 or even 2030, depending on whom you ask. The adoption of new technological behaviors in response to the pandemic, from video conferencing to online shopping, means usage has already reached levels that were not expected for many more years. I'd like to present a new fact. Recent data show that we have vaulted 5 years forward in consumer and business digital adoption in a matter of around 8 weeks. This was declared by McKinsey, a consultancy, in May 2020. And for online shopping in America, progress was even more rapid, 10 years of growth in 3 months. Netcom, an Italian retail consortium, says shopping in that country, a laggard in e-commerce, has witnessed a 10-year evolutionary leap towards digital. In banking, experts canvassed by The Economist reckon that the share of cashless transactions worldwide, including India, has jumped to levels they had expected to see in 2 to 5 years' time. In medicine, a British doctor told the New York Times that the National Health Service had undergone a decade of change within a week as doctors switched to remote consultations. Now comes our education sector. COVID-19 has made a tremendous change in the education sector. We can say that it is a blessing in disguise for India, especially our rural in Tamil Nadu. It has brought a drastic change in teaching and learning at all levels. In other words, it has totally changed the world perspective on education. It has become a new normal for students and teachers. For the online classes, they have taken center stage in students' life now. Students travel comfortably with this system of education as there is less physical activity and more mental activity. And now they have become a tech savvy attached to with mobile phone, desktop, laptop, or tablets. They have learned more about various applications and programs. Apart from academic learning, there is so much technological learning. Students' general proficiency and knowledge on computer, smartphone, mobile phone, radio, and television are enhanced. In online classroom system, students' access to all relevant information at one platform is possible. Even though we have such kind of technological advancements, this forum talks about what are all the advantages we had enjoyed so far and what are all the challenges we are still facing in the education or the academic community, so that it will be a fruitful discussion for the audience to know what are all the platforms, tools, techniques, or the system, process, flows which is available and followed in many of the top colleges in Tamil Nadu, followed by what are all the challenges that have to be addressed by the academic community or the teachers. So this platform will enable us to share our thought process and the system what we have followed. So as a moderator, my first question is to the panelists are how your institutions have been coping with the students' assessment during the lockdown period. I pose this question to Dr. S. Ganesh Vaidyanathan, Principal, Sri Venkateshwara College of Engineering. Sir, please can I hear from you?
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Akila. Very good morning to the management committee of PALS. The person from Samarth and other principals and academicians who are gathered here. So thanks for this opportunity. The question that is posed to me is how are we coping up with this, the new normal? Whether are we prepared? And what have we done? Okay, I'll just take, if I'm right, I think I'm given just 5 minutes to answer this question, or maybe sometime around that. To be very frank with you, right? This coronavirus came as a surprise to all of us. And, the lockdown was also quite surprising. And we were expecting to open up anytime and resume our normal operation through the, the conventional mode of working that we were doing till then. But then as time went by, the digital adoption became a compulsion, is it not? So I always feel that, necessity is the mother of invention. So the same way now, I think most of us, whether willingly or unwillingly, we are forced to adopt many things. But thanks to, the coronavirus, because even today I read an article, a very detailed article, that coronavirus has acted as a catalyst in boosting innovation. Not only in terms of online education, as Madam rightly pointed out, not only in the e-commerce. She said that there is a 5 years or 10 years, kind of leaping forward within a couple of weeks. Yes, see, the potential is there, but we are always complacent, and we don't wish to unleash our potential unless there is a need to do that. So coming over to our institution, so we should frankly admit that prior to this pandemic, though we are all aware, mostly, see, I think we cannot be saying that no, we do not know that such technology is available. Even the the meeting tools were available prior to the pandemic. Even the digital writing tools and whatever, it's being publicized and being sought after by many teachers. Many of these things were quite available, even before the pandemic, but we were not, in a position or we were not ready to use. That's the actual word that I'll put in. So once, this started, probably we waited for a month, and subsequently we felt that we need to really catch up with, the time that is being lost. So that is when, in the month of April itself, SVCE introduced an online, methodology using, a simple Google Meet interface, which we are right now using in an enterprise mode. We are subscribed to it. And, subsequently, after we did our classes through that, which is not, anyway different from what others do, SVCE felt the need to do, the examination come evaluation. And that was a time, it was, really challenging to find what are all the options available, whether we should be compromising on, conducting an objective type. In fact, our university, Anna University, has also advocated the same type of examination system. So thanks to our autonomous, status, we were able to, discuss the pros and cons without confining ourselves to only the option given by the university. We were able to actually, brainstorm with our people. And then we felt that, engineers, because engineers should have the capability to express them to the fullest. This is something which we all believe in our college. So we should give them the, the option of expressing themselves. So subsequently, whether they do it or not, that's a different thing. So we felt that objective, questioning and answering, though it is advocated by the university, we felt that it is not sufficient. So while we wanted to retain one condition that was imposed by the university, that is online examination system with proctoring methodology, we wanted to use that keyword. Yes, it is going to be online, no doubt, and also it has to involve some kind of proctoring. Whereas we felt that the examination has to be comprehensive. So this is the one thing that, I feel when we are inquiring with other colleges, I have not so far come across other colleges which has adopted this method. So what we did was, we, tied up with a software service provider who offered us a combination of comprehensive examination, wherein the students will be, writing their, answers in a full-fledged manner for, say, 3 hours itself, right? Elaborate answers, I mean, in a predefined, see, we gave them very strict guidelines that they should be using an A4 sheet, they should be drawing the margins. It should be more or less like, the regular answer script that we gave them. So we gave them, and then the questions were collected from the teachers, and they were, stored in the cloud. And prior to the examination, we had to do a lot of preparations, like registering the students and grouping them based on the, the course, the examination that they are going to take, and things like that. Then on the day of examinations, when the students log in, they will be able to see their question paper. And we told them to write the examination on their own with all drawings, whatever, whatever way they would normally do an examination. See, because, see, an engineer should be necessarily able to write, elaborately, not only that, express himself through good diagrams. In the online mode, we felt that there were some constraints, like, see, of course, we can always test the ability through online also. That is how it is done across the world, even in, advanced assessments that take place across different universities. However, we felt that we should give them an opportunity to express. So that way, they were asked to bring the, the pencils, the ruler, whatever, gadgets they had to have for the examination. Then they were asked to write. One speciality of this is the examination will be written in their own handwriting. So we felt that this particular handwriting feature is one important, biometric feature, which can never surpass any kind of, methodology in case we wish to deal with a malpractice kind of situation. We felt that, this examination written with their own handwriting will be the best of the feature that we can exploit to identify if any kind of malpractice has been done or something like that. Because the students are not going to, but one thing is that we also felt the need for proctoring, right? But we had to compromise between writing them an elaborate answers, and also, while proctoring them through their computer or mobile or whatever. That is where we came across a concept called as intermittent proctoring. So in the intermittent proctoring, what we did was, we give a prompting to the student, and very randomly some questions for which they will be able to answer mostly. And the answers, the questions were chosen based on the data given in the database. Like, it could be, say, simply like, what is your father's name, or what is your date of birth, or what is your registration number, or what is your email as registered in the database. Some kind of questions were asked, and only when they have to answer the question, they have to look at a camera. The time when they answer, they have to text, they have to key in the question through the keyboard. While they do that, the camera will be taking a snapshot. And remember that this will happen at random intervals and not at predefined intervals. And this made, the element of proctoring a little more foolproof. One is handwriting, another is this intermittent proctoring. And then after the examination was over, the software provider himself, he offered, a scanner as a part of his package. So the scanner will ask the student how many pages are to be scanned. If he says, say, a number of pages, the scanner will offer to, take a snapshot of all the pages. like as any other scanner app does. They can crop and make it in a proper shape. Once it is all done, it will package it into a PDF file and it will upload it into the cloud. And the main thing that here I would like to put forth is we adopted a dummy numbering system, right? Here the teacher, the evaluators never know, right, whose paper they are evaluating, because the dummy numbering system is adopted by many colleges. I do not know about other autonomous colleges, but even though we are autonomous, we still adopt a kind of blind evaluation, because we felt that will make it more ethical and more people more straightforward. So after the process is over, these random numbers will be assigned to the scripts, and whichever teacher is registered to evaluate the particular course, these papers will be made available. And we gave the convenience of correcting the paper at their own time. Only thing is that we gave them a date by which the whole process has to be completed. So with this particular, procedure, we were able to successfully, do the examination for the, the 2020 passed out. And we also recommended, and one important thing that when we did this is we took the approval of our academic council, and we said that this is the methodology. They also put forth a lot of questions to us to ensure that it's done in a foolproof manner, or it doesn't go against whatever the university has said. So after doing all this and after getting due approvals from the university, we managed to get the examination done and also the evaluation done. We are now recommended those students to the university, and just yesterday we have got all those students cleared, and I'm happy to say that it has all gone in a proper way. So I summarize my speech by saying that while I should frankly admit that we have been just following whatever the other institutions do when it comes to the classroom teaching, but I'm happy that now the teaching is made more student centric. See, earlier the teacher, I always agree the importance of teachers, but the present day generation and the new education policy also focuses on a student centric kind of teaching methodology, because that's what the present day generation is interested in. So teacher is also another tool. So I'm happy that COVID-19 has opened up opportunities to explore other possibilities, like the use of gadgets, the use of internet, and things like that. And teacher is also another important tool. I should don't mistake me for saying that a person is a tool, but that is how it is being viewed at. So I'm happy that this has opened up a lot of opportunities. There is also a lot of scope for improvement. So this is what is the methodology we follow in SVCE, and I think we have been fairly successful. Maybe when the audience, when the people ask me questions, I think we'll be able to identify more, whatever.
Yeah, thank you, Dr.
Yeah, thank you so much for this opportunity.
For sharing your assessment pattern in SVCE, and it's a great input for the people who are watching us, because intermittent proctoring is a new way of proctoring method, because what the university has suggested is go for an online proctoring. You have taken a step ahead of what university has recommended, and I appreciate SVCE for that. And was the internet for the students and for the teachers at home, how were you able to manage those things, sir? Because they will be not present in the college, the students or the faculty. So were there not any challenges in the internet speed or the connectivity?
True, madam. This is a very valid question. See, I would say when you were giving the the overview, you were also mentioning about there are some challenges. See, the main challenge in our country is the connectivity. I feel that is the only problem. Otherwise, people are really eager to explore and exploit the facilities, but the connectivity is really a problem, especially in the rural areas. I was even told that the tier 2 towns and all, they don't have even a proper 4G network or something like that. So what you asked is a very right question. In fact, we went for intermittent proctoring to do away with the continuous monitoring through the video option, which is offered by many solution providers, because video monitoring will consume more bandwidth, right? And it is we can't really rely on that. though there are also some special methods that are adopted to conserve bandwidth and things like that. So first of all, we did away with continuous monitoring just to conserve the bandwidth. So only at that time when the students are posed with the questions, they will be really using the internet. Now coming over to the question of how well they were able to upload this. Yeah, certainly. See, there are two or three instances where the internet dependency becomes very critical. Number one is getting the question paper. Once they get the question paper, it will come to the local device, right? From there, they can start answering the questions. Secondly, proctoring, the intermittent proctoring, which occurs at random intervals, which is going to be for a couple of, say, each question may be displayed for about 30 seconds or 45 seconds. Within that time, they are supposed to answer, otherwise it will time out. So this some 6 or 7 questions say may be asked. So that is the time when the internet connectivity is still required. And lastly, when they have to upload. Otherwise, the dependency on internet is very much minimized here. But still, as you rightly said, connectivity was the problem in those students who hail from rural areas. So we gave another option. Those students who lose connectivity in between. So it can happen in cities also, power failure or something. They will be immediately informing our coordinators, and they will be making a note of those students who have lost connectivity. And these students will have to, make arrangements to seal the paper and send it across by courier or in a physical form to the controller of exams to our college. And it will be a process. First, we will validate whether the request is genuine. If it is genuine, then we will be processing it, and then the result will be merged with the common pool.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Ganesha, for sharing the information. In this assessment, we are talking about end semester examination or the final examination of the students. So in this matter, if any of the panel like to say that we have been following a different assessment method for end semester examination, you can have 1 minute of, please. Anybody other than Dr. Ganesh, can you please share light on that? Dr. Mercy.
I am Shalini from Tyagarajar College.
Yes.
I'm Shalini from Tyagarajar College of Engineering. Thank you for giving this opportunity. In our campus, we are actually conducting the terminal examinations based on MCQs alone, multiple choice questions alone. And if there are any requirement from the faculty where they need some papers to be uploaded or some analysis has to be done, we give an option for hybrid method. But as such, we are following MCQ based assessment pattern. That's it.
Okay. So MCQ means the assessment pattern. What will be the difficulty level of the questions, madam? How was it handled?
Yes. We actually have our entire course curriculum based on Bloom's taxonomy, and this Bloom's taxonomy, right from understand level till apply and decide level, we will be having few questions. If at all, if it is 60 questions, then 6 questions and 6 questions from understand level, 6 questions from apply level. So like this, we will be having the complexity of the various multiple choice questions for a single course.
Okay. So I'll come back to you, madam.
Yes,
Let us hear the answer from, if anything different from what Dr. Ganesh has shared. Can I hear from Sendil Kumar, sir?
Yes, madam.
Or if it is one and the same, let us not have a repetition, sir. If you have anything unique or innovative way you have followed for assessment for the end semester examination, please share. Please take 1 or 2 minutes, sir.
Okay, madam. For your information, very good morning to everybody else. It's a pleasure for me to participate in this online proctoring mode of discussion. As Professor Vaidyanathan told that the end semester examinations has been conducted in a different mode for the students. But in our college, we use a system called as online proctoring mode of system using the Moodle LMS tool we have used to conduct the online end semester examinations. As Moodle platform, learning management tool. That is one of the important thing. Again, with this one, we have CamView software also. CamView, CAMU software also, additionally for the support of the conduction of assessment examinations. So if you see, a challenge has been put forward for the faculty members, management, as well as for the students to take up this online examinations. So if you take this online examinations, particularly if you see the end semester examinations, we conduct the, as per Madam has told that MCQs. So we collect the not defined MCQs, 100 MCQs we will be collecting, and we'll be uploading all those things in the Moodle separately. Again, this will be shuffling all the questions depending upon the time period, 45 questions, because 30 questions for 1 mark and 15 questions for 2 marks as per the unanimity rules is concerned. So it will be shuffling the 100 questions deliberately to different students. Each student will not get a same type of questions. Different students will get different questions, so that they will not have such a kind of copying or malpracticing in the examination point of view. That is one point. Second thing, during the assessment part, we'll be giving a clear instruction for the students how to follow it. The first step is instructions to the student to take the online proctor examinations will be separately sent to them. In second step, computer, internet facilities, and other facilities required by the student to take up the examinations. This will be clearly informed to them. Third step, proper exam timetable will be intimated to the students with the timings, because 1 hour duration alone will be given for examination for the end semester examination for answering 45 questions. So 1 hour, in the duration of 1 hour time period, we will be conducting the examination morning 3 hours and afternoon 3 hours. 6 hours we will be conducting continuously. Again, fourth step, if they do not have any proper facilities in their place on their hometown, the details of the students will be collected by the mentors a week before itself. Again, these students will be called separately to the college. Again, we'll be allotting a separate system for them in a computer lab with all the facilities. Again, invigilator will be put for invigilating whatever they are doing in the laboratory section itself. Next thing, fifth step is free or a trial test will be conducted for all the students to create the awareness or vigilance among the students regarding online assessments. Okay, this is before the main examination, so we'll be conducting a pre-test. The trial test will be conducted, so that they'll be aware of how the screen will be appearing, what they have to do, because you got part A as well as part B. So if you after answering the part A questions, they have to submit, finish, then they move on to part B. That is the process. If they submit the finish and they close it, automatically part B they can't able to answer that part. Okay, that is one thing. So clear instruction will be given in the pre-test or the trial test itself. Sixth step, internal arrangements are made for those students who are in need to take up the examinations. Okay, and we'll be appointing a separate faculty member for monitoring the same. In seventh step, this sixth step is for the students who are taking the examination in the college. For the students who are taking the online, a separate team will be allotted for monitoring the proctored online examination systems. That is the seventh step. A few faculty members with few systems will be allotted. They will be monitoring the students continuously, not intermittent as Professor Vaidyanathan told, not intermittently, continuously monitoring, continuously recorded. Videos will be recorded and it will be stored in a separate place. Again, eighth step, if any students deviate from the rules specified, those lists will be collected and they will be submitted to the COE. If there is an internet problem or a connectivity problem or any problem with their systems, or if they do some kind of malpractice, all those things will be taken into consideration by the invigilator, and the detail will be given to the COE. Again, the COE will consolidate the list depending upon the sequences as well as the effectiveness, and it will be submitted to the principal for further action. To be very frank,
sorry for interrupting. Can you be a little faster because we are running short of time?
Okay. To be very frank, we use a proctored EDU tool with Moodle for conducting this online proctoring assessment for the students. We have live recording as well as monitoring. Again, monitoring is done by AI-based intelligence systems. So in this way, we handle the online proctoring exam very effectively in our college. And in my point of view, whether it is online teaching or offline teaching, it should be done properly and truly with proper monitoring and proof. This is the thing we have done our college in a very effective manner and smooth manner. Only few issues has been reported to the COE as well as to the principal. All other things went on very smoothly. This Similarly, for the internal examinations, the same methodology we have followed. Instead of MCQs, we have given a descriptive type. Same monitoring system has been carried out. This is a point from me.
Thank you. The Moodle platform, was it created by your team members of your college?
Yeah, we have registered for Moodle separately. We have bought the Moodle separately for all the students, for all the faculty members. Every faculty member will be having their user ID and password. Every student will be having the user ID and password. They have to log in into their Moodle user ID and password. They have to take up the examination. So it's strictly monitored. Okay. No malpractice can be done or allowed.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Very bright platform.
Thank you, Dr. Sendil, for giving an insight on Moodle and CAMU. So let us pass on to my next question. How did you manage to cover the learning outcomes? I posed this question to Dr. Mercy Shalini of the Principal Tyagaraja College of Engineering. Madam, please. How are you able to manage to cover the learning outcomes? Okay, maybe we can take her later. Dr. Anthony Michael Raj from Principal Loyola ICAM College of Engineering and Technology. Can I hear from you, sir?
Yes, ma'am. Good morning, everyone. PALS team, faculty members, other panelists, and my dear fellow faculty members. Actually, before talking about that part, following up the evaluation part, this learning outcome measurement, other things, I would like to throw a light small point regarding this assessment part. See, our college, Loyola ICAM College, is affiliated to Anna University, not autonomous college like other panel members colleges. So we have nothing to do with the final end semester examination. But then internal assessment, that part we concentrated to some extent in improving the assessment part. This CAT exam, as usual, we used objective type question paper using Moodle. We are also using Moodle, full-fledged manner. Objective type question papers, only objective type questions were introduced in the first test, and there was evolution of this improvement in this assessment in test by test. Initially it was 1 mark tests we gave, because students should also be accustomed to the new environment. And then slowly we introduced 2 marks in objective type. So faculty members should set question paper, some analytical part. They were asked to set question paper for 2 marks and 3 marks, and so that students will take some time to answer, work out problems and answer. That way they will do. And then in the next test, we introduced a written form also. So using Moodle, and it is not that much very foolproof that students are asked to write in a paper and scan it and send it. That part, third part, that was part of our evaluation. That was not so good, but we tried to manage the difficulty through the time bound. So they have to send within that time. They have to write and scan and send it. So that is how we conducted the unit test or continuous assessment test. And apart from that, for continuous assessment, we also used asynchronous class timing. See, initially period itself, we introduced some part of teaching learning process as asynchronous. We said 6 hours in a day, but not all the 6 hours they will have directed learning, online learning. So there will be 2 hours in a day. They will, faculty members will take them for a guided self-learning by the students. In that, faculty members will give them activity in the particular topic and give some guidance, and students will log out and take their own time, and they will complete the work. And then at the end of the period, 5 minutes or 10 minutes before, they will log in, and then faculty members will post the quiz, and then that way also the assessment was done continuously. These are the way we did assessment.
Yeah. Sir, I'll be interested in for the question, how were you managed to cover the learning outcomes? That means where the students were able to understand our teaching and learning, whether the outcome was achieved.
Yeah. See, yes, again, we use that Bloom's taxonomy in question paper evaluation, and in that, in Moodle, there is provision for evaluation of each and every outcome measurement. There is provision. Each question, faculty members can write comment on for each student, and that way we gave the feedback to the students, and then that way we measure it. In fact, we maintained a complete good documentation. That was our initial plan. In Google form, Google Sheet, we created complete documentation based on the new AICTE's exam reform policy, and that competencies for each outcome was measured through the question, and that measurement was recorded in the document, and that was shared with the students also. So measurement was purely done based on the outcome measurement was done by, as usual, by Bloom's taxonomy in the question paper itself. That's why we came up with different sections of question paper, 1 mark, 3 marks in objective. Both are objective, but both different weightage for question papers, and then writing also.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for the answering the questions on how did you manage to cover the learning outcomes. Exactly what we expected was that Bloom's taxonomy, and happy to note that Loyola has taken up Bloom's taxonomy, even though it was not in autonomous. That's a real appreciation to Loyola College here. So can I hear from Dr. Sendil Kumar, how were you able to manage to cover the learning outcomes? Sir, please have a short answer. Sendil Kumar, sir.
Madam, actually, sir has told regarding the Moodle, no? Same thing we have followed. With the Moodle, we have got one more package called as CamView. Actually, as per the Bloom's taxonomy, there are 6 levels of Bloom's taxonomy: remember level, understand level, apply level, then analyze level. All those things are there.
So you were able to analyze through software. Yeah,
we will put in everything in the software, and CamView as a specified place. We will CO and PO mapping also will be done for NBA related documents. Also, we are following under the same thing. Bloom's taxonomy plus NBA also will be followed in the course outcomes and POs and.
So the complete assessment of the complete assessment of COs are done through CamView software.
Yeah, CamView software completely.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Yeah, thank you. Can I hear from Dr. Ganesh? How are you able to manage the learning outcomes, sir?
Yes, ma'am. See, I would say we have been just doing the same way as because see, we have not used the Moodle, but we are even the internal assessment and the delivery of our regular classes we have been doing through Google Meet, and maybe some teachers we gave the liberty of conducting the internal assessment to our teachers, but only condition that we put is when we evaluate them in the internal assessment, every question should be mapped to its respective the course outcomes, and they should be the associated RBT level or whatever. So we are certainly we capture all the data pertaining to the achievement of course outcomes, and in turn the program outcomes, because we are also undergoing all this accreditation and other inspection. It is essential for us to capture all this data. I think it is quite possible, like Mr. Sendil and Professor Michael said. I think if we adopt tools like Moodle, it gives us even a better flexibility in terms of capturing this. I don't think this is really a problem, but we should admit that Venkateshwara did it all manually because because we did not adopt any special kind of technique.
Okay, sir. Thank you for answering the question. And let me come to the last question of our panel discussion. What infrastructure challenges you had to overcome for this assessment and followed with the learning outcome and getting the feedback from the students? What infrastructure challenges you had to overcome? And I pose this question to Dr. Anthony Michael Raj, Principal Loyola.
Thank you, ma'am. Actually, as usual, the digital divide is a challenge. You know, when we post some videos or materials or anything, the limitation of data the students have. The students are from very remote place and they are not. Good enough to pay much for data, and that is an issue. So if software is taking care of when the faculty member is uploading a material that goes beyond their limit or something, that some kind of alertness, giving alert, so that this shouldn't be an issue. So always the student should not complain that for want of the data we are not able to see the material, we are not able to cope up with teaching learning process. That's one important thing. And second thing is that there should be more collaboration possibilities. You know that of course it is there in Moodle and all, the teachers to collaborate with the students and students to collaborate with each other, and every student to collaborate with someone else across the globe. That's another thing I expect. And then saving time should be a priority for a faculty member. Time should be saved. We want innovation from each faculty member in teaching pedagogy and so on. So for that they need more time to think, to plan. So they should not spend their time in this documentation and other aspects as far as the online teaching learning is concerned. So there should be integration of this learning management tool with other things like maybe university portal or our internal ERP and so on. So that should save the time. Faculty members need a lot of time to plan and work on this. Innovation is the primary thing. That's what is going to make the user engagement more.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Can I hear from Dr. Shalini, Principal, Tyagaraja College of Engineering, more on the infrastructure challenges you had to overcome?
Yeah, thank you. The infrastructure, predominantly it is with respect to the hardware. The hardware, I mean, like if at all, if you really wanted to teach engineering graphics or any other mathematics related courses, we have to identify an equivalent graphic tablet by which we have to do all this analysis and project it to the students. So the issue is with respect to the hardware. And coming to the software, it is basically the way in which the students are getting connected and they are trying to upload or download or link into the repository and looking at the video lectures. So both the hardware and the software issues are there, but we have to handle it meticulously, and we are all doing it. And finally, this is all about the phones also, the actual mobile phones. These students are now very much accustomed to the smart devices, so that is also a constraint. So without a smart devices, and students are not preferring laptops, so without a smart devices, it is very tough for them to take up this type of online classes. That's it from me.
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Mercy. So now I request Mr. Samarth to tell about the online proctoring solutions from your side, sir. Please.
First of all, thank you all for the kind introduction initially, and it's an honor for us to be a part of this panel and to be present amongst an experienced set of people like yours. So we will be starting with sharing our experience in terms of how we have seen from the industry side what kind of expectations we have seen from the colleges, how we have delivered to those, and post that we will share our overall experience in general, and then we will give you a short demo on how, as an organization, we have tried from our end to replicate the offline mode of examinations in the online mode. So because that's the kind of request we mostly get from colleges, that they want students to be as comfortable as they would be sitting in a classroom. So I will hand over to Ms. Kamna from Mercer Metal. So she will be sharing few of the challenges and takeaways from Mercer Metal standpoint.
Thank you, Samarth. Good morning, everyone, co-panel members and PALS team and the attendees. Thank you so much for your time. So I'll just quickly jump on to the topic since we're discussing proctoring here. So I would say that Metal kind of was prepared for the future in a way, because we had been doing online proctoring for the last 5 years. So that's when we started proctoring. And this is one of the reasons that we are one of the largest proctoring solution providers in the world. So coming to education ecosystem, so yes, when we started proctoring solution as well, uh, we focused on education industry and we wanted to give the solution to the institutions across the country. However, as you would all know, that the education industry was not really prepared for online examinations or the digital delivery of examinations, considering a lot of factors and challenges that we have discussed here as well. So I'll just quickly share my screen in case you people want to have a look at it. So some of these discussions or the challenges have been discussed already, and I'll just quickly share our view on that as the industry partners. So one of the key challenges that we have discussed here is the infrastructural requirement, considering a country like India, where the internet bandwidth could be a challenge, the availability of suitable devices could be a challenge. So how did Metal realize this this challenge, and how did we come up with a solution for that? So we'll just go 5 years ago or 4-5 years ago and tell you how we developed our solution. So we work on a project with Ministry of IT and Electronics, which is PMG Disha. This is a digital literacy program, and it had a target of digital literacy, providing digital literacy to about 6 crore people across our country. And these people mainly come from the rural or semi-urban areas. And all these assessments that happen, they are human proctored remote proctoring, where you are using the live streaming feature and you're watching a candidate live, which requires higher data than a non-proctored exam generally. So we realize that it has to work on low bandwidth conditions and it has to consume as much as less data as possible. So this is why currently our proctoring solution, it only requires 512 kbps of speed for a candidate to take the test. So from our experience, we've worked with almost about 100 plus institutions, and we have not really received this concern from institutions majorly, where they are saying that our students are not able to give the exam because there is an internet bandwidth problem. Yes, there could be a case where you have lost internet connection. So we cater to that as well. We'll explain it that in case a student is giving the exam and the student disconnects for any reason, can the student resume the test? Yes, the student can resume the test. So all situations which can occur in an online examination, it was our learning as well. And we have developed the solution in that way. So coming to the other challenges, first of all, which was discussed in detail, is how, because traditionally we are doing these exams on pen paper, and how do you move that to an online platform? Is the solution ready? So on Metal as well, I think one of the professors or principals had mentioned about the comprehensive examinations being conducted online. So on Metal as well, you can conduct a mix of objective and subjective questions. So it doesn't have to be only MCQs. You can have you can have long answer essay type questions. We have a mathematics editor as well, where students can write mathematical equations on the platform itself. And in extreme case, where the faculty feels that my paper requires the candidate to write on a piece of paper, like the traditional way, because they may need to prepare complex diagrams. Sometimes faculty also prefers reading the answers in the candidate's own handwriting. I think it was mentioned as well. So in that case, we also have a solution where students can write on the paper and then upload their responses in a secured way on the Metal platform directly, and the copies of those answers are available to the evaluators. So this is how we have designed the platform. In our experience as well, as I said, that proctoring and so online exams we have been doing for 10 years, and proctored exams we have been doing for last 5 years. But how the growth of Metal test platform and proctoring in the last 6-7 months since COVID-19 came into the picture has been significantly higher for education space compared to what we did in the last 4-5 years. So yes, this has been a tremendous learning opportunity for us as well. I think the only positive side in the entire sad scenario of COVID-19. So that is there. Now coming to the next challenge, and which is the core topic of this session as well, is when we talk about online examinations, the first thought that comes to your mind is the student is not present, physically present. Then how do we ensure the authenticity and the sanctity of the exam? The student may take an advantage of the situation and try to take some kind of help. So how do we ensure? How do we ensure if Kamna is supposed to take this test, it is Kamna only and not Samarth sitting in place of Kamna and taking the test? So we'll show that in the proctoring demo. And then the other aspect of it is when we talk about any education institution, there are three major key stakeholders that we understand. One is the education, the admin department or the management overall. Then there is the faculty who are delivering the courses and then who do the evaluation as well. And then there's the students. So student aspect, we have covered what could be the challenges and how we have tried to cater to those challenges. And then the faculty, an important component is also the evaluation part of it. So the platform supports online evaluation. It's very simple. The faculty can see all kinds of responses there. One point which was mentioned was masking the details of the candidates so that there is no biased evaluation. You keep the answer scripts anonymous. So that is also available in case you want to just mask the details. So the faculty has the convenience of logging in any time. They don't really have to accommodate their evaluation time during the working hours. If they feel they have more time at the night, they can just log in any time as per their convenience, even over the weekends, and do the evaluation. And as the admin, they can track the entire evaluation, give deadlines, see how much progress is there. So all of that is there. So this is how we have developed the solution, and we are trying to support the education system in this time. The other thing, I think the second topic that Samarth also mentioned was that what has been our key takeaway from this entire learning experience of providing this online examination solution to the education institution. So I would say that one of the major key takeaways is, which is quite interesting as well, is that there is a mix of institutions which are out there and which we also saw here. Just to how you are conducting your exams online, we saw so many examples. Each institution has adopted a different technology or solution as per their preference. And we also experienced a similar feedback from the institution. So what we saw was, there is a request whenever we are talking to any new institution. We always say that, sir, ma'am, please understand, this is an online world. This is online solution. And we need to understand it is not a traditional pen paper exam. So whenever you have at least decided to at least explore that, okay, and now I at least want to go and see how the digital world works, we also need to understand that we need to adapt to this. Everything cannot be replicated. It cannot be a simple copy paste. So some institutions were very proactive. They understood it and they accepted it, easily. They try to, so I think someone mentioned that they are doing their exams in only MCQs way. So that's the mode they have adopted, that they have changed the pattern of their papers mostly, and most of them are being done only through MCQs. So similarly, each institution adopted, so there are examples where they said that so the controller of examination, for example, told all the faculty members, since we are doing the exams online, it is better if we can think of the paper questions to be designed in more application based, so that the candidates can use, the students can use whatever they have learned in the classes and then apply that knowledge and prepare their answers rather than writing those long, hundreds of words of responses. And some institutions took longer time, and for some, we also had to change and give them certain solutions so that it could fit into their requirement. So it has been a mix. Surprisingly, students were able to adopt it, pretty well. It was very easy for them to, because they are more tech savvy, so they were able to do that. However, the other aspect of students when they are adopting this online examination, so the other key takeaway that was for us was the anti-cheating features which are provided, and in the virtual world, how does it impact the experience of a candidate? So interestingly, even though students were happy, parents were happy, some of you also mentioned that parents are not still comfortable sending their wards to, out of their homes to colleges, because it is still a safety concern or health concern for their children. So parents are happy that my kid is at home and the classes are going on, they're able to give their exams and all of that. However, it was observed and it was shared by some students who had this comfort with their faculty members, where they said that this online examination and proctoring, it's a very strict environment for them, because now they're sitting at home. When they're in the examination hall, they have their friends, their peers who are all with the same thought process, and some cheat, some don't, but it's normal. But when they're sitting at home, their parents are around, their maybe their siblings are around, their grandparents are around, and it is very embarrassing to even try to cheat, and they're just sitting in their home. So they are just forced or bound to be more serious and maintain the decorum of the exam. So this was something interesting that we learned from the education industry, and has been one of the key takeaways for us from delivering all these online exams. So I think that's all I would like to share, and maybe I'll request Samarth now, if in case he wants to add something to this.
Sure. Thank you so much, Kamna. So I will just add, continue from where Kamna left. So when we talk about anti-cheating features, proctoring features, so we give a lot of importance in identifying what are 100 different ways possible in which students can cheat. But at the same time, we during this process of implementing our tool and technology across colleges in the last 6-7 months, we also came across different mindsets of students as well as uh, college administration. So I will give you an example here. So there is one of the colleges, it's Bangalore based, where we had implemented our solution. So there is something interesting that came across to us. So someone from the college shared with me one day, hey, Samar, there are some set of students who came to me one day saying that, asking that, when would the college resume? So, like most of us in today's time, the person I'm talking about thought that, the students would be asking from the angle of getting back to college life or meeting their friends. But surprisingly, students told something completely different, which we honestly had never thought about. When a student is sitting in a home environment, right, when there are parents or any of the family members sitting around them, uh, they themselves would not really intend to cheat. When they think of cheating, it comes to their mind that my mom is looking at me. It might be embarrassing, and I might be scolded for it. So in a home environment, those students were like, we are not able to cheat at all. We are not able to bunk classes at all. So that was a completely different perspective that we came across. So that was one. Second thing, from college administration standpoint, there was one of the calls I was a part of. This was a very large Hyderabad-based college group I'm talking about. So there were all the deans and senior members of the college on that call, and there was one of the members, faculty members, who started putting across different possible scenarios in which a student can cheat. And we kept answering those questions very patiently, and because that's what we do day in day out, we find out ways in which students can cheat, and then we counter those ways. That's our job, right? So we kept answering those questions, but then suddenly there was a very senior member of that institution. He stopped that faculty member, and he asked a very valid question that, instead of asking the companies or the technology providers that, how we can stop this instance, how we can stop that instance, why have we not instilled that culture of integrity in our students? Like, why are we questioning these companies how they should, like, while they have created 20 different ways to stop cheating, but why have we not created 25 different ways to make a student feel guilty while he's trying to cheat? So that was a very interesting thought that that came to us from that particular call when the senior members said these things. So that's also, these two perspectives are very, very different and outside the technology world that we ourselves had never thought about earlier. So these are some of the takeaways and some of the learning that we had during this time. So if the time permits, so I would like to share some of the ways, like I was mentioning, how like not just Metal but many other companies in this space have tried to ensure that how these kind of proctoring solutions can help uh, colleges avoid any kind of cheating instances, but at the same time, how students can also stay close to their earlier comfortable mode of exam where they can continue writing on pen using pen and paper, and then at the end just upload the same answer sheet online that they would have submitted in a classroom based model. So I will just share my screen. Just give me a minute. Okay.
Samarth, we have another 2-3 minutes.
Sure. So I hope everyone can see my screen. Okay, so here
we can, Mr. Samarth.
Great, thank you. So here I'll just show. So this is how the experience looks like for a student in an online exam world. Now here we have given some options to for the students to write equations if they want. So this is called an equation editor tool where they can use all possible kind of symbols where uh, they might actually need to use in an offline mode of exam. They can even draw their equation. So if I just draw some kind of integral equation, I can just do this here, and you will see it is all being read automatically by a system. So just give me a minute, sorry. Yeah, so this is one way where we enable students to write equation based questions. And now again, this is one option that companies provide to students if they want to give their exams online. But at the same time, the most ideal option which we have seen if we are going for a descriptive type of answers is where a student might prefer writing on a sheet of paper and then scanning and uploading that. So here we have this mechanism in which they can upload their sheets of paper from phone itself. They just have to click here. They just need to scan this QR code. So I will just quickly show one example here.
Hi everyone, this is Kamna. While Samarth scans an image and uploads it as an answer, I would just like to add, which might be a question some of you might be having. So we understand that this is a new platform for the students. So we don't expect them to, just come for an exam and take these tests. So we provide demo tests, mock tests before the actual exam. And the idea is to keep the demo test as similar as possible to an actual test environment so that they know what all needs to be done when there is a proctor test, when there's an online test, how do they upload an image. So that helps them prepare better for the online exam rather than trying to figure out the steps during an actual exam. Samarth, you can continue.
Sure. Thanks, Kamna. So here you can see in a few seconds, I've been able to just scan and upload the answer I just wrote on a sheet of paper. So this is something that actually helps colleges replicate their offline mode and in a very effective and in a faster manner. And again, students usually don't require very high internet bandwidth for these kind of activities, even if they have a weak connection or they are in a remote area. So this is from the student's perspective. One last thing that we would want to highlight is how we ensure that the proctoring is very effective and the students are not trying to cheat. So I'll hand over the screen to Kamna so that she can show you how live proctoring or AI-based automated proctoring works in an online world. So this might be of interest to many of you because this word is very loosely used today, like AI proctoring. So we'll just show you what it means in very, very simple terms, simple words in 2-3 minutes.
Thanks, Samarth. So I'll quickly share my screen.
Yeah.
So are you able to see my screen?
Yes, we are.
Yeah, okay, thank you. So what you saw earlier was the candidate screen. This is the human proctor screen. So how proctoring works, at least in Metals world, is there are two levels of proctoring. One is the AI-based auto proctoring. And for stricter monitoring and live intervention, you can add a layer of human proctoring on top of that. And these human proctors could be from Metal, or you can have your own people do the proctoring as well. We obviously do the necessary trainings, but this is how it works. So now this is a candidate, and imagine it like having a video call, but it is a one-way video and audio. Only the proctor can see the candidate, can hear the candidate, so I can get Samarth's audio as well. Anytime I can toggle onto this tab and just see the screen of the candidate as well. And there are these tabs here which allow the proctor to live invigilate a candidate. And for each exam, you can have a different set of proctoring instructions. So here, in case as a proctor, I feel that there is something suspicious, I can take a snapshot and it will get flagged in the candidate's report. And all these logs are available in the candidate's report for post-facto activity as well. So in case I feel that this candidate is not following the instructions, I can pause the test. In case I feel this candidate is not following the instructions at all, even after repeated warnings, and if the institutions allow, you can even end the test of the candidate, which means that the candidate will not be able to then continue with the test. So how it works is, once the test starts, if you can see the logs here, since that moment, the AI starts monitoring the candidate throughout the duration of the test. And if any suspicious activity, so the AI has been trained in a way, it automatically raises flags for any suspicious activity. So if this candidate does anything, so like here, the candidate is looking away, so there is a flag raised. In case the candidate's face is partially visible. In case the candidate moves away, because one of the concern is now the candidate is giving the exam online. So how do we restrict the window? For this demo purpose, we obviously did not restrict the window because we had to share the screen. But you can do that as well. And you can see that even if you have not restricted the window, whatever happens on candidate screen can be visible to the proctor and the admin as well in the reports later on. So all these activities, so for example, let's say I feel that this candidate is suspiciously looking towards right. Maybe he has kept some notes, maybe he is trying to use a phone. So what happens in that case is, what I can do here is, I can ask the candidate here that, so there's a chat box, this is a text chat, and I can directly chat with the candidate, and I can write the candidate that, dear candidate, please move your camera, show me the table you're working on, give me a 360 view of the room. So how this helps is, now this is like if someone starts moving his laptop and he shows me the room around, I have done a check of the room. So this ensures that that candidate does not have any kind of help around him. So this 360 check is generally done when the candidate test starts, so that we are ensuring that there is no setup at all. And these could be random, can be done anytime during the test, as long as the institution wants it. So how strict or lenient a proctoring has to be, it is decided by the institute for each and every exam. But this is how the proctoring works. So AI is doing its job. Human proctor watches the candidate, watches the screen. If the proctor thinks that any intervention is required, he can warn the candidate. Like I can say, please sit properly. So this will go to the candidate. I can pause the test. So the candidate's test screen will freeze and the candidate will not be able to continue with the test until the candidate ensures that the instructions are followed. So this is how proctoring works. So I think, and Samarth, anything else you want to add in case I've missed out anything?
No, I think that's good. So that pretty much covers what we wanted to highlight on this call. So we are open to any kind of questions that follow.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Samar and Kana Gupta, for having a wonderful session on online proctoring solution by Mercer Metal. So can we have a few questions? Sujata ma'am, can you moderate the same? A few questions from the panelist. Anybody is interested to have questions?
I'll do that, ma'am. I'm just, these are the few questions that we have received during the registration form, and I'll just take a minute. Participants, if you have any questions now, you may raise your hand and I will unmute you. You can ask your questions directly, or you can start posting your questions in the chat box and I'll moderate it for you. Dr. Akila and the other panel members and also Samarth and Kamna, these are the few questions that has come. I'm sure most of it has been covered through the series of the discussion we had. If there's any point that you may want to add to any of this specifically, you may choose the question and answer it. If that is okay. I mean, I am not prompting which question goes to.
Yeah, I understand. Maybe we can have the fourth question, teaching mathematics online. So if any of the panel members can put light on that, how to teach mathematics through online. Anybody can volunteer?
Yeah, can I share my thoughts on this, madam? Yeah, thank you.
Yes, please.
See, the problem is because see why mathematics alone is considered special is because we think that mathematics also has to be taught the same way as we do any other subject. For example, even in my own college mathematics, the teachers, they feel that using a PowerPoint or there's nothing like doing mathematics on the board, because where you can explain all the steps and you can also explain sub steps and things like that, whereas it is not that easy to do it in PowerPoint. Whereas nowadays, with Shalini madam was mentioning about the graphical writing pads. See, they augment see, wherever you intend to use a board, and these tabs are now available at very affordable cost, and they can be used in Google Meet with a tool like Jamboard or whatever, right? I think all the teachers know about it. I don't want to elaborate. So mathematics, certainly, it requires a personal approach rather than simply copying everything to PowerPoint. For that matter, I feel any other subject also should not be blindly taught with PowerPoint. Wherever and whenever it is necessary, the teacher should pitch it, because the teacher is the only human element in the whole system here. All others are machines, right? Google certainly cannot replace a teacher. We can get any answer for any query from Google, but there's nothing like a teacher who can explain it better in a human point of view. Now, coming over to this, I feel that the need of the hour is teaching mathematics using concepts like gamification. See, because the mathematics is very often, in engineering colleges, we all know we don't employ engineers to teach mathematics. We employ mathematicians to teach mathematics. That is where the problem comes in. So they mostly teach mathematics not in an applied point of view. Whereas we autonomous colleges, we know that this is very much essential for the students to appreciate mathematics. So when we design our curriculum, we say, okay, this mathematics is intended to be used in this application. And all those things we tend to do. But nevertheless, the teachers of mathematics, right? I think they should be allowed to collaborate with the other teachers of the engineering disciplines. For example, if you take, say, if you're going to teach something like a Fourier transform, instead of merely talking about Fourier series and transform, if you are going to say how it is used to view the spectrum of a signal in in the frequency domain, that probably will make it more interesting to an electronics and communication engineering student, rather than simply making the students to do it like a problem. And there are a lot of new startups and many learning the companies which are involved in digital learning. They have come up with very attractive methods. I feel we should be in a position to adopt all those methods, because now digital learning is going to be the new norm. There is no other go. I think with the new more strains of coronavirus, replicating themselves, I think we should also find out new methods and innovative methods of
thank you.
So please let us not view mathematics in a conventional point of view. Let us treat mathematics as also as a very attractive subject. I think if everyone has that attitude, I don't think there will be any problem in dealing with that.
Yeah, thank you, sir. And we have an answer for the same. Gautam from Vivekananda College of Engineering for Women has said that Wacom bamboo tablet that they have been using for diagrams and solving problems and equations. That's a device which they are using. Likewise, many effective methods like GLAM, we have so many devices for teaching device have evolved during this pandemic, which has been already placed in many countries, but India has seen a great change in the device, using of the device. We have been used with blackboard, whiteboard, PowerPoint, and this video conferencing with the remote accessing for the children is a new way for all of us. Can we hear from Mercer Metal how this you'll be able to see all the 30 students activity with one moderator at hand? How will the technology help to monitor?
This is a question from Dr. Srinivas from Alpha College of Engineering.
Yeah.
This question is, how do you proctor more than once? So right now you demoed it for once candidate.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sure. Hi everyone, this is Kamna again. So I'll take that up, and for that I'll share my screen again. So yeah, we demonstrated one candidate, but so we understand, yes, there are obviously more than one candidate generally. So how it works is you can define how many candidates are to be proctored by one candidate or one proctor. So you can keep it anything 15, 20, 30, whatever it is. But ideally we have seen it should be somewhere around 20 to 25 candidates to be proctored by one invigilator. So you can set that setting, and automatically when the candidates and proctors are live, the platform automatically allocates the live candidates to the live proctor as per the proctoring ratio defined. And this is how your classroom view or examination view, hall view would look like. So the proctor will be able to see all 20, 30 candidates allocated to the proctor. And these tiles keep getting auto refreshed as per the activities of the candidate. Also, here the AI also helps the proctor to identify which candidates could be more prone to cheating. So what AI does here is, whenever there's a flag raised by the AI, which is an automated step, so that candidate gets highlighted. So the outline turns red or amber as per the flag raised. And now this proctor knows that this is where this candidate is doing something, and I need to monitor this candidate more closely. And that's when the proctor can click on the candidate, and the proctor would land on this individual view. So here the tiles would all appear, and some of the disconnected. But here you would get the classroom view, and one by one you can also check in case you want to check a candidate closely. I hope that answers the question.
Yes, please.
Yeah. Dr. Srinivas, if there is a follow-on for that, you can ask that. Dr. Akila, you may also want to take up the question related to students, like, how to increase students' attention. I mean, if the students are not able to reply during the online class, how do we do? How do we increase the efficiency, monitor the efficiency of the students' performance, evaluate their understanding capability?
Yeah, I shall answer the question by myself. Online polling is available during our class, during our online classes. So because interesting questions can be posted by a teacher during their 1 hour classroom. So during they have to prepare beforehand how they are going to design their lecture today. For example, if they teach for 1 hour, there might be some 4 interesting questions for the students. It need not be technical. It can be a non-technical question, or it can be a mind game for the students to refresh themselves. So this is called online polling. So it need not be periodical, because the students are very naughty and mischievous, and they have learned the art how to cheat the teachers. And so to make them interesting, we have a few questions posted now and then to check whether they are attentive. And to make their life easy and make that 1 hour session interesting, we can post some beautiful questions so that they can answer. The other thing is, if they miss something due to the connectivity problem or any other commitments or engagements, or if they have any problem at home, if they are not able to attend the online class that time, what we do here is we always record what we teach that 1 hour, any subject in that matter. That recorded event is always available in the Moodle platform or the Google Meet, wherever we are. So the recorded session is available there, so that they can come back and view what we have taught already. The only thing missing is they will be missing the online polling or the interesting questions there. And also we at times we have peer learning and the peer discussion in the online classes itself, where the students themselves will have an online activity of that particular subject. So for this, the only solution is the teacher has to do a homework. They have to design the class of the day, full 1 hour. They have to design how they are going to handle, what are all the activities that has to be done in that 1 hour, and then followed by the feedback session. The feedback session that can be posted in the chat box, or after the event also they can do it in the Google Classroom. So by this way we can have a beautiful 1 hour session, which will be it is not a teaching, I can say it will be a facilitation of that lecture class. I hope that I answered your question.
Even
yes,
one
yes,
thing,
yes.
Ma'am, we are talking about only theoretical part of the examination, that is theory subjects alone. Why we are not concentrating on the practical laboratory sections, which is very, very important for the students' point of view. I like to add up some points regarding this one.
Yes,
through PALS, particularly PALS, because PALS institution, PALS collaborative institutions, are 32 or 33 members are there. These faculty members from these institutions have been specifically trained in VLab, virtual laboratory, for conducting the labs in their colleges. This has helped a lot for our faculty members, because these faculty members who are trained by the PALS, they have in turn trained the internal faculty members to conduct the lab in a good manner. So this time we have conducted the online labs assessment examinations also for the final entrance examinations, where other colleges find very difficult in conducting this online end semester examination for laboratory courses. So virtual lab also should be taught to all the colleges through some methodologies. Methodology in sense, we have got IIT Kharagpur is there, IIT Roorkee is there, IIT Delhi is there. Again, special softwares are there to teach this virtual labs, because students have to be very aware about this thing to learn something which can be done virtually for the laboratory courses also. This is a very important thing. Students have to take care about the teaching learning process for the laboratory courses, because practical is very, very important for them in their life cycle. Thank you, madam.
And thank you. Sujata ma'am, do we have other questions?
Yeah, I'm just looking at the chat box.
May I add one point to this, ma'am, what the discussion
Yes,
previous.
please. Yes, please.
Regarding this student engagement, even though we post questions to the students often to make them active and responding to us, some students will mischievously skip and they will leave the place, and then later they will say that network problem. So the good solution could be that, as ma'am already pointed out, that faculty members need to spend more time to prepare for the class, in the sense that they have to first align with the students. We cannot, it answers the first question also. We cannot, the online classes will not be effective if we teach the same way we taught earlier before that. So there should be a drastic difference, and we have to be, as Dr. Vaidya said, that we have to be student centric, and then we have to prepare, you have to align with the students. What is interested to them? If they are interested in gaming, kind of gamification or other related techniques have to be implemented to align them, to attract them, pull them towards us. That is the only solution. Other techniques or other solutions by software, quiz and keeping them alive will not work that much effective because we have the problem of data, and still students can complain about that and escape with that. So the only solution is that. So we have to get along with the students and find their interests, and we design our delivery mechanism to cater to that interest, and that way we have to tie up the students towards our teaching and learning process. That's the best solution, I think.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Anthony. Professor Tangadurai from Vivekananda College of Engineering. Sir, you have a question?
Yeah, thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Thank you for the opportunity. Myself, Tangadurai from Vivekananda College of Engineering. Ma'am, again, I come back to the first question. Actually, not only for the mathematical faculty members getting that trouble, even computer science, IT, and also ECE faculty members also have the same problem. For like computer science department and IT, we have a theory of computation subject. In this handling of mathematical oriented activities, I have started some physical method to arrange to conduct the classes. Last semester, I handled like I have a one mirror, and top of that mirror I kept my mobile phone, and the bottom of the mirror I kept my notebook, and I had written my materials, and I have explained more. It's like my class. It's not like a virtual classroom. It's like as like our real classroom. Okay, so I satisfied in that method. So in this forum, I want to convey we have to arrange such things also better convenient to reach the audience with a full satisfaction.
Thank you, sir. I think one of the panel members did say that the faculty will have to be innovative. So you have adopted an innovative way. Dr. Akila, you have anything to say?
Shall I wind up, ma'am? Shall I?
No, there are a few more questions.
Few more questions. What
yeah.
we have already
So,
posted, is it not?
No. Vijay Lakshmi, ma'am, from Sairam College of Engineering. Her question is, so base is the net connection. So when we ask the students to switch on the camera, the answer is that it is already on. So how do you find out that it is really due to network connection, or they are wantedly doing it? Is her question.
It's a challenging question, ma'am. Because it's a great problem, because they have the internet connection for YouTube and other things, but when it comes to online class, they have internet problem, and it's the problem of every college. It's the problem of every college, every teacher, and it's a challenge for every teacher to make the students to come online on time and all through the time. So it depends on the teacher also. We what in our college see that if a teacher is really innovative, interesting, irrespective of the subject they teach, the students are along with the teacher all through the time. And if, the matter is very serious when the teacher is very serious only with the subject. They have a tough time in having the attendance, and the video is not on. And few cases, I don't know, whatever we see, we come across with the WhatsApp messages and things. We also encounter all these problems in the colleges. But initially, we had the infrastructure problem. Initially, it was very, very difficult in, as we said, in May and June, we had a very tough time to have the teacher on time, teacher with the infrastructure, and the students, especially the students who stayed in the hostel here, which were not in the city. They had the device problem, and few cases I have to tell you is they did not have a smartphone in their house. The father did not have a smartphone, or anybody else, they did not have a smartphone, and they were borrowing the smartphone from the neighborhood, and they were attending the classes. Those cases also we had in our college, and it was so critical in the beginning. First 1 month, I hope that all the colleges had this problem with the rural students, and the students in cities also. They were not liking the online classes, and because they have been left alone for the 2 months without any any relationship with the college, and we had a very tough time. And in June and July, when the faculty were able to travel to college had really had to go for a higher bandwidth of internet and digital setup in all in few of our classrooms, so that the teacher, they themselves will have the feel of teaching in certain cases. So digitally, I think all the principals here will agree that we had a special budget for IT infrastructure after this COVID-19. The bandwidth, the digital devices, then the Zoom platform, and other internet platforms for video conferencing, because parallelly few classes will be going on, and the events, the online events have to happen. So we had increased our IT budget, which was not earlier in our budget. So this IT infrastructure, we have improved a lot in all the colleges, because there was no requirement of such IT infrastructure previous to COVID. So this we have to accept. Still the problem persists, ma'am. To be honest, still the problem persists in few of the cases. And online assessment also, few of the students were not able to take it at home. They have been given special privileges to come to college, sit here in the hostel, and take the online exams here from our laboratories. So challenges are still there for us to combat, and I hope that all will agree with this.
Yes, ma'am. Since this situation came all of a sudden, so nobody was ready to face this, faculty members, management, and the students also. But now the things are becoming very compelled one, and slowly we have to set norms. For example, while admitting the students, we have to ask them certain basic minimum in the gadgets or data thing. Otherwise, we will be crippled with this kind of issues, and then we will not be able to move ahead. So in the years to come, slowly there has to be some norms to be set for the students also, that they should have the minimum gadget, they should have the minimum data. In fact, they will have data, they'll spend data for WhatsApp and other usage, social media. But when it comes to teaching and learning process, they will say that they are lack of data, running short of data, and so on. So that is the way it should go forward. That's the reason we are not able to move that much faster than other countries and other elsewhere in the world. So this has to be overcome. We need not wait for government and other policies, but then institution level government has to take some decisions to cope up with this issue through the norms and rules like that.
Thank you, sir. Dr. Muthukumar from Savita has a question on how do we conduct online exams for engineering graphic subjects apart from MCQs? Any other innovative method? His question, he's asking that.
Sure. So I would like to take that question.
Yes.
Like we were just showing, so for engineering questions where not just engineering, any kind of questions where there are need of complex diagrams or any complex equations that a student has to write. So there are many companies who provide the solution like the one I also just showed, where they can write their answers on a sheet of paper the way they would do in a classroom-based exam. And once they are done writing their answers, they can just scan and upload their entire answer sheets on the examination tool that is being used. So that is the easiest method that we have seen being deployed by various colleges we work with, and some other colleges who also don't work with us. So that's the easiest possible way that has been figured out yet. Hope that answers.
Thank you, Samarth. I hope, Muthukumar sir, if you have a follow on, just let us know. Yeah.
Muthukumar. So this is Dr. Sendil.
No, he won't be able to unmute. He won't be able to unmute, sir. He won't be able to unmute.
Okay. Actually, his question is to conduct the engineering graphics for the students in online. They have conducted 2 days workshop in our college itself specifically. He know that very well. So that really he posted the questions. That the answer is also correct. We have got a specific software for the engineering graphics subject to teach the students in online itself. Yes, Muthukumar.
No, it is a workshop, sir. Engineering workshop, carpentry, plumbing. So
that kind of workshop is asking. Huh?
So how to, because the first semester we have that workshop practice. So
engineering
how to,
graphics also has got the same problem, because the virtual lab cannot be used for explaining this engineering graphics, but specific software is available. For this one, Dr. V. Muthukumar has and his team has conducted a 2 days workshop for all the faculty members in Tamil Nadu to how to conduct the engineering graphics subjects in online mode. So very good, but engineering other thing practices lab, I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, and Professor Manikandan from VCW, he has given some suggestion for an effective teaching methodology for lab. I mean, it is in line with our VLab session that we have taken. So I would request the participants to just go over the chat box for that. Atul Marat, attention problem exists for faculty development programs too. All students are of the same kind. Yeah, that is his question. And he's just giving a statement. Arivumadi Ravanan from KIT, his question is similarly between examination after refreshing due to poor network connectivity, the marked options are vanished. Students say as above, exam cell says the software is perfect, unable to solve this issue. Basically a technical issue on online proctoring. That is what Dr. Arivumadi Ravanan is highlighting. Is there any suggestion from the panel members for that?
Ma'am, it depends solely on the software they have bought, ma'am. Because in our cases, they can save the answers now and then. So if they log in again, they will be able to have the marked answers back. It depends on the software they have using.
I hope Dr. Arivumadi Ramanan, that answers your question. The last few questions from Dr. Brinda Devi, she's from Sairam, I think. Is it possible to conduct cloud computing lab?
Yes, ma'am, obviously. Cloud computing.
Mostly it will be done in any software tool only. So obviously it can be done in the virtual mode itself. There's no problem, because as we run the C++ program or C program or Java program, this cloud computing also can be done in virtual mode for the students, because they have to give the
cloud computing lab. CDAC is doing that for many years.
Okay.
But primarily the problems are with departments, mechanical, electrical and electronics kind of department laboratories. So that's where, as already discussed, we need to develop some software for practical courses. So that has to go ahead, and that is the only solution. I think CSCIT, there's not much problem as far whether it is online or offline or wherever it is.
Sir, if we have MATLAB access, we can simulate any problem with the input and output. So like MATLAB, we have LabVIEW. All simulation softwares can help us with the ECE, EEE, ENDI, BME. And all these softwares are already available, but we have to exploit the software. We have to design the problem. Yes. Because our laboratory manual is always with machineries and equipments, but MATLAB, LabVIEW, and SolidWorks, all these softwares has to be used productively these days. Now we cannot replace the feel of the machine or the equipment, but at least during this pandemic, we can have an exploration of such softwares where we can do n number of things which we have not done earlier.
I think
for mechanical and electrical, we can have electrical CAD or civil CAD is there, mechanical CAD is there. If any faculty member who is well versed in the CAD part, they can handle this lab very easily. Simulate the works, whatever they have done in the offline. It is also possible.
Sujata, I think Dr. Arulmani Ravanan and Dr. Muthukumar wanted to say something, but they were muted. I think you can give them an opportunity to speak
Dr.
out.
Muthukumar is already unmuted.
Yes, madam.
And
Yes,
Arun
madam.
Ravanan also wants
Yeah.
to say something.
Yes. Yes, ma'am. I have some questions to the panel. Actually, in first year courses for all our colleges, we have the two important subjects, basic subject like engineering drawing as well as the engineering practices lab, ma'am. So we have the facility to conduct the engineering drawing course. Already we have conducted the course also. The faculty members got benefited. In order to have the virtual lab for the basic courses like the practices like carpentry, plumbing, turning, welding, drilling, it is very difficult to do with the how we are going to any ideas. The panel members kindly have briefly give your ideas to conduction of the engineering practices lab as well as the examination also in in the month of March. It is my question, madam.
Sir, as far as our senior semesters are concerned for heat and transfer lab and the lathe machine workshop, what we have done is the teacher, the subject handling faculty and the lab assistants, they have demonstrated. It is only the demonstration. The demonstration has been captured. It is also available in the Google Classroom, which has been uploaded. The students, they can view the demonstration, and it is also streamed live demonstration. So like how we did here, they can have the chat box. The real, as we said, they cannot have the feel of the machine. They cannot operate physically, but they can see the demonstration, what can be the input, how the machine is running, and what will be the outcome of the experiment. This is how we have demonstrated in our college, which we are not able to do with MATLAB LabVIEW.
Okay. Here in first year courses, there is no such virtual lab or any tools may not be used for this particular thing. So how we can achieve the learning outcomes or and the assessment part also, madam? How we can assess the students?
So now the university has given guidelines how to go for the practical examinations. They have clearly quoted that we will have an external examiner. We should appoint an external examiner. All these laboratory sessions has to be simulated or demonstrated. That is how we have to go through this COVID-19.
Okay.
Then followed by the examination pattern, it's just the Viva questions.
Okay.
Each individual will have the Viva questions, how the machine can be operated and what will be the outcome. This is how we have to conduct our practical examination, and the guidelines we have received from this university. Once they come back, we can redo our practical, whatever the experiments the students have to learn. We can accommodate them on a Saturday or Sunday. This is what we have planned.
Okay, madam. Okay.
These practical courses, which with the carpentry, all those things, they have to be the skills that it involves workmanship. It's more than other laboratories. It involves workmanship. How when a student applies a force, the pressure, what's the deformation, all those things the students have to. This is the kind of workmanship which can acquired only through practical way of doing it. So all other things will be to some extent fulfill our learning outcome measurement. So demonstration video, in addition to that, some simulation simulation of applying force and then developing is very big challenge. That one. So that kind of simulation, again simulation, we cannot feel, the student cannot feel the thing what he gets in response to his force given or efforts given to that thing, which is very vital measurement in this kind of. So to some extent we will do it now through simulation. Rest of it, as ma'am told, when the students come back, give them some demonstration. That's what is the present way we have to do now.
To add what Dr. Anthony has said, through our Pulse program, KPRIT has finished 80 experiments of all departments through our virtual labs. And we are really comfortable because faculty has finished their experiments and the same has been taken to the students also. So we, to tell that we cannot equate the physical experiments, but we can manage the experiments through online. This is what I can say to Dr. Muthukumar.
Thank you, Dr. Muthukumar. I hope that answered your questions. Anu Ramanujam sir, you have a minute more, just one more minute. We'll be running short of time. Go ahead, sir. Dr. Anu Ramanujam, you will be able to speak. You're unmuted. No, it is not audible, sir. It is not. We are not able to hear you. But I see your microphone is unmuted. Okay, we will get it rectified. My question was partly answered. Okay. Okay, sir. Thank you. Dr. Akila, you may want to give your closing remark before we go to the end of the session.
Yes, please. Yes, please. So we had a beautiful session today on online proctoring solutions. Even though we have many tools for online proctoring like Examly, Gudi, and online quizzes, Socrative, Google Form, Mentimeter, Poll Everywhere, and gaming options with Kahoot. And many of us are having different kinds of devices to engage our students' learning and the assessment online. So let me put it in a nutshell that the impact of technology on the education sector is undoubtedly beneficial. First and foremost, teaching, and in consequence, evaluating students are two actions which should not be limited within the walls of the classroom, but they can be both performed anytime and anywhere with the aid of our devices and the internet. Those are two things matter: devices and the internet, teaching and evaluation. So this go hand in hand. In India, it is very new for the college, for many of the colleges, but abroad universities or the foreign universities have taken this kind of hybrid teaching and assessment evaluation a long way back. But research has also proven that most students are interested in going through an online assessment rather than a paper and pencil one. Moreover, the students are delighted when they get their results and feedback automatically immediately after the test, which has been mentioned by Mrs. Metal. But still, to be fair, there is some confusion deriving from students' responses, which show that even if they some may prefer online testing, there are still some others who like to take up a paper and pencil because they have been used to such paper and pencil mode all through these years. So there is still a need to figure out how reliable it would be if we should incorporate online methods in teaching and evaluating according to students' perspective. And instant feedback, that was a question. Feedback should be instant. Feedback should be given to the students immediately, and the response from the students also should be taken care where lies the problem. So this discussion we have taken up how an online proctoring can be very effective in a remote base, and Mrs. Metal have given us a beautiful session, and where they were able to showcase what are all the methods a student can be monitored, I mean proctored, and how what are the challenges what we are facing now can be rectified in their model. So I thank all the panel members for having a panel discussion on online proctoring, assessment, online teaching, learning. I hope that everyone would have benefited with such a panel discussion. Thank you, IIT Pulse, for giving me the opportunity to be the moderator.
Thank you, Dr. Akila. I would now invite Mr. Bharanidharan, the PALS champion, to formally give the vote of thanks from the PALS side. Over to you, Bharani.
Thank you, Sujata. That was a very engaging session. I think we got to learn a lot of things, very interesting problems. I thank all the participants. I particularly like to thank our moderator, Dr. Akila, for accepting this at a very short notice. I'd like to thank all our panelists who also agreed to take up this at a very short notice. Dr. Anthony Michael Raj, Dr. Shalini, Dr. Ganesh Vaidyanathan, Dr. Sendil. Thank you all for your participation. And it was very good information sharing for the benefit of all the partner institutes. And I also thank Samarth and Kamna Gupta for sharing the industry experience, the industry perspective. I'm sure all of us got benefited. With this, I would like to hand it over back to Sujata. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bharani. So before you all log off, we have posted the feedback form in the chat box. Take few minutes to give us the feedback on the session. And I thank once again all the panel members and Mr. PVM, Bharani and Mohan Narayanan to have arranged this wonderful session. Thank you all. See you in the next series soon.
Thank you,
Thank you, Dr. Akila.
Yeah, thank you,
We are
madam.
well on time. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you, one and all.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Samarth, and thank you, Ms. Kamna. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Samarth and Kamna. Wonderful session. And our panel of principals, wonderful session. Really commend you for it. We enjoyed it.
You're welcome, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, one
Thanks
and
for the
all.
opportunity.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you all. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, madam.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Senthil.
Thank you, madam.